hmm What's up, y'all? It's your girl, comedian Aarona Lopez, aka AaronaTheVirgo, your favorite behavioral analyst comedian, right here in the flesh. New podcast, and this is episode 1. Boom. Y'all know how I like to do things, okay? I like to keep it simple, and I like to fail first with everything that I do. I rather get it out there, put it out there. The sooner I put it out in the marketplace, that's when I can get my Steve Jobs on. As it goes along, I make the little tweaks and I make, the little improvements, and that's version 1.0. And then I come out with version 2.0, then 3.0, then 4.0. Next thing you know, we at iPhone 15. That's how I do things. And today is no different. A whole lot has happened within the last week. And by the way, I had a new birthday. For those that, it's been a minute since you synced me. She's a year older. Give you my little dimples and stuff. Happily 42. Listen, I earned these 42 years. There was people that was trying to cut this life short. This precious, okay, precious life, beautiful life, trying to cut it short, honey. And no, God said no. So we're here, and I'm happy about it. I earned all of it. I will accept and own up to all of my time, because the skin is skinning and the face is giving, and so I'm happy. Moving into this, okay. So we got 3 segments, maybe 4. 3 segments, maybe 4 in this new podcast. Okay. 18 years in this stand-up comedy thing. Okay. And shoot. Podcasting since 2017. What year? This is 2024. So that's 7 years. 7 years in this podcasting thing. And so, yeah. One of the things I like about podcasting specifically, I'm starting to liken it to TV pilots. This is just what my personal association with it is. It's just like, there's people who have had so many different TV pilots, so many different platform launch opportunities to make things happen. And sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. Okay. And when it don't work, they just go, it's back to the drawing board. They get on another pilot. They give it another shot. You know what I mean? The show may not go nowhere, but they still out there making it happen. And that's how I see podcasts officially at this point. From everything that I've been through in my little podcasting experience, I'll save you details if you ain't up on it. But if you've been following me, you know, okay? You already know. They snatched one of my podcasts after they had 80 episodes, okay? So listen, y'all know. New people, welcome. Just come on in here. You're a fresh slate, and I'm just here to entertain you and make you smile. All right, amen. So the first segment is going to be news breakdown. I think I'm going to just leave it like that. That's simple. It's basic. News breakdown. I'm going to make a graphic later, but news breakdown. Bam. And then the second segment, my favorite, is Aarona's Fantasy Sports League. We'll get to that in a second. Just letting y'all know what to expect moving forward in this program. Amen. Segment 3 is Safe Spaces. Now, this is it's a play off of my Safe Spaces blog. What I'm going to do is take my favorite talking points from my blog and just include it in the podcast. It's a way to promo the vlog videos that I make for this YouTube channel, but then also make more people aware of the blog itself. And that whole segment is about that, because the purpose and the point of Safe Spaces, amen, is to help people stay sane in this crazy little world, okay? And once we cover news breakdown, sports fantasy leagues, and depending on if you're a betting person, you may want to stay sane in this crazy world. So it's the witty weekly inspo to just check in and say, hey there, hey you, I see you, I love you, okay? And you gonna make it. We gonna make it. Okay, we not quitting. We not giving up. We gonna keep going at this. We gonna keep giving it a go, and we're gonna do it with a cheerful spirit and a happy spirit, despite the BS and the foolishness that befalls upon us. We gonna keep it trucking anyway. Keep it trucking Eddie Kendrick style. That's not for new people, but if you're old school, you already know what I'm talking about. And then my favorite segment 4 will be grievances. Just some grievances before I close. We didn't did all the other stuff. Y'all done got inspired. We done talked about some sports and some happy things. But then I'm like, hey, before you go though, let me give you just a little extra round of some foolishness that I had to endure, or just word on the street. He say, she say. I went through a number of titles of what I was gonna call it. Once again, as we roll this out, we'll see what I end up calling it. because it takes it to do, and it takes it to see what has legs, and then we make the adjustments from the field. I'm a play as you go type of person. Yes. So segment 4, it's going to miscellaneously be labeled grievances. Working title, working title. That's TV language. Working title. We may call it he say, she say. We may call it word on the street. We'll figure it out. I might call it word on the street. That just came to me, and I might leave that. I like it. But right now it's called grievances. This entire episode is called grievances. So let's start. I laid it out to you, and now you're like, okay, here's the great part about YouTube too. When you've got enough, you could forward and let's say, see, hey, let me see what this is talking about. Then you move your little cursor and forward, because it's recorded, so it's beautiful. Just forward to the part you want to hear. Amen. Praise Him. Now, plug, because this is my channel, so I have to plug my products and my goings ons. So www.AaronaTheVirgo.com. That is spelled AaronaTheVirgo.com. Make sure you check out my website. Get familiar with it. Get very familiar with it so that you'll know when things are changing. So when I have new products, new things, the blog is on there. These podcast episodes will be on there, and just other things that's all about Aarona the Virgo. Okay, amen. Also, some of you may know, new people you may not know, but I have renewed my Zumba license. And so I am currently teaching Zumba 3 days a week at TSU. TSU stands for Texas Southern University, which means you have to be in the Houston, Texas area to partake in these Zumba courses. Okay, amen. They are 45-minute classes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday is 3 p.m. and Wednesday is 12 p.m. All of these classes are fun. They're high energy, high impact Zumba classes that will work, that will make you sweat, that will burn calories, and that will be fun. Taught and led by yours truly. All right. So that's at TSU. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Mondays 3, Tuesdays 3, Wednesdays 12. That's where I'm teaching and leading Zumba classes for now. We will see where I end up next, or what I decide to do, or where I want to go next. But that's what we're doing for now. It's fun. It's doing what it's supposed to do for as long as it's doing what it's supposed to do. If there's a change in anything, I will let you guys know. But that's where you can find me for now. All right. Amen. Now let's get into segment number 1. Everybody knows that the presidential debate was last week on September. It was September 11th or so. I feel like it was September 11th. I felt less like the day it was. Okay. That's without me looking at a calendar or whatever. Just going off the top of my head. Okay. Amen. Last Wednesday, it felt like. Okay. So Trump and Kamala had a debate. And these are my thoughts solely on the debate. First of all, I'm going to make a TikTok dance, a YouTube short of the sound bites from that debate, because it was a lot of comedy involved in that. And as you know, I love things that make me laugh and make others laugh. Now, that's number 1. Number 2, from the way I see it, we might end up seeing a Kamala Harris White House. It's looking like this country's on the verge of seeing its first woman president, which is a feat that, has been attempted numerous times since the 1980s. I feel like Shirley Chisholm ran in the 80s. She didn't win, but, obviously, but she was one of the people that ran. Jill Stein has been running, and she's running again. I don't have any opinion whatsoever about Jill Stein outside of the fact that I admire her and Butch Ware's tenacity. I have to know a little bit or learn a little bit more about their politics specifically to, see their talking points. What I do like about them is, right, they want to be an alternative to the propaganda. And that's what I really like about them. Now, is that going to be enough to win an election? Probably not, because this country likes gang culture. All right, that's how it is. They got to team up with the mob. They got to team up with the gang. That's just how America was built, baby. So that's what they be doing. Okay, I feel like when it comes down to it, Kamala is representing herself better. Kamala, I believe it's Kamala. I don't know why I'm saying it differently, but whatever. With a name like Aarona, I definitely want to make sure I'm pronouncing people's names correctly. uh, I'm feeling insecure about how to say it because I feel like it's Kamala, right? And then I just said Kamala, and I caught myself, and I was like, but we're gonna move past that. VP don't know me, so VP Harris, I'm sorry. Okay, girl. All right, girl. Love you. All right. Anyways, I feel like she came to the debate more prepared than Trump, and it was kind of embarrassing for him. And ironically, every time he gets publicly embarrassed, all of a sudden there's an assassination attempt. That is starting to be weird, but I noticed the connection. Now, I want to say on record, I'm happy he's safe. I don't want nothing to happen to this man. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't, that would be weird and sad, Like, I don't want anything to happen to the guy. But it's kind of interesting that every time he's like publicly embarrassed, he's like, pull out the old assassination trick, like do it, get public sympathy, hurry. Like it's like, like that. However, this is the only reason why I also don't want to diminish its importance too much, because this is the one thing I think Donald Trump has on his side. Listen to me very carefully. When they brought up the way that Donald Trump handled the Taliban, when he said, I sent him a picture of his house. When I made that threat, like, hey, you better not harm one American person. Not one hair on an American's head should be harmed. And if you do, I know where you live and we got you. And he got up and left. Like, they didn't explain that in the debate. And it was my first time hearing about that particular incident the night of the debate. And then you go on TikTok and there's like a million and trillion six TikToks about the incident with him and the Taliban. And I'm like, why wasn't that more publicized? Like what was it about that wasn't publicized? What I'm saying is it's that side of Donald Trump that people like. It's that side of Donald Trump where as Americans, we feel like he don't play about this country and he'd protect us. So my suggestion is, because I'm gonna be really real with y'all. Like I said, it's kind of leaning in Kamala's favor. However, everybody is still on the fence because there was a lot of missteps during the Biden presidency, and Kamala is currently VP. So it's like all of the missteps during this presidency. When you get her to talking, and she's like, "When I'm in office, what I'm gonna change." It's like, "Good girl, girl, you already know this right now." So I know you're VP, you're not the president, so that you can't really override what your running buddy is doing, your teammate, your boss, your level up. However, you're in office now. So it's like, don't keep disconnecting yourself so much because we see you, girl. Okay, amen. Now, that's one. But number two, what Trump has going against him is he is really exposing a lot of his personal biases, and it is wounding him. Like the way he is tone deaf and not reading the room at all when he's addressing others. Most notably, the time that he was at the NABJ, I spoke on this before, but that's the National Association of Black Journalists. He was literally there talking to them and was talking through them like they weren't in the room and addressing them as if, number one, they don't know who they are, their own culture, and number two, as if they're not educated people trying to exist, survive, make money build a career, okay, off of journalism, which takes a degree, right? And, there's a lot of ways you can get into journalism without the degree, but for the most part, it's a highly professional career. And so to sit there and talk to them about how immigrants are taking their jobs, it's like, yeah, they're taking jobs, but let's be really real. Let's tell the truth. They're taking the jobs of employers who can manipulate them because they're not really supposed to be here. And they're happy to get whatever job they can get their hands on. So that's when you get greedy people who really don't want to pay people what they're worth and pay people the right salary, right? Will hire one of them in their place so they can come out of less money. And unless you're one of those type of employers, other people really don't have that to worry about. People really more concerned about being replaced by AI than they are being concerned about being, replaced by a Argentinian, like somebody. I had to think of a country that started with A that was, in the countries of, concern, since we're talking about immigrants. Either way, I feel like If Trump can display more of that side that shows Americans, hey, but I got y'all back, you can lean on me, I'll protect y'all, then he'll increase his chances of being, someone people have faith in. Because right now, especially after this election, he's still sounding like that self-serving narcissist that I'll say whatever y'all want me to say so I can get back in that office, because I didn't like not being in that office and I didn't like when the spotlight wasn't on me. Put the spotlight back on me, damn it. Like, that's what he sounds like without saying it. And he won't admit that, but that's what he sounds like. And that's how he's coming across. Here's the thing. Even if he's not trying to come across like that, that's how he's coming across. So if he can resort back to being that no nonsense New Yorker of no F that, this my country, y'all all my people, I'm gonna stand up and ride for us. Like if he can do that, then kudos. But also the decrease of greed. I need that, because it got real greedy. Okay, the Trump administration was my least favorite administration in my entire life. Okay, I hated it. Hated the shit out of it. Do you understand me? Hated all of it. Okay, that was my brokest time. The brokest time in my entire life. Never in my entire existence did I ever have to deal with so much corruption and being like treated like I'm an animal, not even a human, an animal. There was a whole lot of, I had never been so racially targeted and attacked before. And listen, I was around during the Reagan administration. When I was a little bitty girl. Okay. Then there was, the Clinton era. The Clinton era was all, friendly and DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion type, years. But I mean, I'm not finna lie to y'all. I made money during the Bush administration, and Bush was in office 8 years. Yeah, she made money. I had a good time. In fact, my first job was at a law firm. That was in the year 2000. That was when Clinton's was leaving the office. You know what I mean? I worked at UPN in 2002. Bush was in office, y'all. Like, it was a whole lot that happened while Bush was in office. The housing market, kind of took a dive. And then Obama came and they had to clean it up in 2008. All that happened. But I made money during Bush years, So I ain't even gonna put it on Republicans, because truth be told, I like a lot of Republican policies, because it's about free enterprise. This country was founded upon free enterprise. I'm a capitalist, but I'm just a capitalist with morals. Okay. I'm never trying to go outside for the bag or chase the bag so much to the detriment of other human beings, where things are just spiraling out of control price wise, and everybody's just so materialistic and crazy. That's corny to me, because we didn't come all here. We didn't come here for all that. Okay. We came here, right, to have a human experience, to stay in communion with our God, with our higher power. We came here to be fruitful and multiply. And the way society is running these days, this whole baby mama, baby daddy culture that everybody created and glorifies, which is trash as I don't know what, because families is what builds legacy. Families is what creates productive humans. And yes, historically, everybody that's born in a family doesn't turn out to be 100% this, that, and the third, because people are people, and people may come, across various situations that happen within the home that, maybe they was the outcast, or maybe this and maybe that. Maybe they had the alcoholic mean father, all those things. Those things still happen. But the reality is, a person that is born in a two-parent home statistically has been proven that they tend to do better in life than people who was forced to figure it all out by themselves, without support, without love. Can those people who have to figure it out without support, without love, make it? Yes, some of them are billionaires. They're doing a lot of success. I feel like if Kamala can stick to, if Kamala stays consistent, okay? If Kamala can stay consistent with the K. I know it starts with a C, but K, okay? Like, she's an AKA, and they nicknames are the Ks, okay? So Kamala can be consistent with the K. Then, I think she has a real shot of being the next leader of the free world. I do. Because if she stays consistent with the policies she's proposed, which include tax credits for low income and middle class families, and middle-class people. Period. It was middle-class Americans. Okay, that was the way it was worded. But she definitely had some family initiatives too. But first in specific, tax credits for low-income middle-class Americans. $25,000 down payment for first-time home buyers. Like, that program would be fabulous. That would help out a lot of people starting out to get their first home. There was also removing tax benefits from real estate investors that buy up too many single-family homes just so they could play with the price of housing and rentals and all those things. Now, let me make a simple point. Should there be a such thing as luxury apartments? Absolutely. Absolutely. And guess what? People who can afford luxury apartments have no problem affording it. So we don't have to worry about them. But numbers state that's not the majority of everybody. Okay. So why not play a game that everybody could win? There's nothing honorable or fly about a country struggling to get by. There's nothing fly about that. There's nothing fly about people barely being able to afford the basics because people want to play games and act like, you know what I mean? They're doing better than what they're doing and everybody wants to look great for social media or whatever the hell is going on. There's nothing fly about that, okay? Let's go back to the Bush administration, okay? Even in the Bush administration, it was very possible to have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house and a mortgage of $750. Very possible, extremely possible. I ain't going to tell y'all what was possible in the 80s because that's going to sound like it's not possible at all these days. I ain't going to tell y'all what that was, okay? To get a 5-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms. Y'all don't want to hear that because that ain't what it is right now, okay? But we could just go back to the Bush administration, which was 20 years ago, okay? Like, it's not too far away. It's not too far in the distant past, okay? 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, your mortgage could be $750. The average person really don't need a mortgage higher than that. We still got to get groceries. We still got to live. There's still car insurance. You know, when you're women, listen, women maintenance, girl maintenance is high as hell. And after COVID, okay, businesses had to adjust their prices. They was out of business a lot of places for 6 months to a year. You know, supply chains got disrupted. People got to, make concessions and all those stuff. So there's, the fluctuation of price for materials. I get it. I get all of it. So help us help you. I don't want to be receiving no damn emails and text messages asking me to chip in for the next presidential blah, 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 when y'all start out at $200,000 a year. Okay. Meanwhile, I got to deal with BS information being put against me for regular jobs that don't nobody care about, all because me doing what I want and what I'm skilled at and what I'm trained for made a whole bunch of people uncomfortable, and they were dead set on kicking me out what I was supposed to be doing with my life purpose. Like they didn't want me doing my life purpose. They wanted me to do anything and everything but my life purpose. And so I'm trying to, I'm out here freestyle. I'm out here doing freestyling and fuckery, all right, to make ends meet, while also keeping myself and other people entertained as much as I possibly can. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to do, but I'm doing it. And so, yeah, that's my breakdown for the presidential debate. Okay? If Trump can be I got y'all, I'm going to ride this till the wheels fall off. I can protect y'all. I got y'all. And I'm going to protect your civil rights. I got y'all. You can count on me. Don't worry about this hair, this orange skin, and my little ego. Like worry about me and my word meaning something. Then maybe he could, pull an upset. If he really gives us that version of him. If Kamala stays consistent, though, it might be night for him, because if she really initiates these policies, and it's not just talk. And it's not just something to sound good for a sound bite because I'm trying to get in office too. And I'm going to tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear because it sounds good. Pick me, pick me, pick me. Then we got a fighting chance of, making America tolerable and livable. Because right now, it's not either. It's not tolerable or livable. Practically, barely, okay? Barely tolerable, barely livable. And people just making it and holding on and trying to figure it out. But, child, y'all can make some concessions. Y'all getting plenty of money doing all this lobbying and all this other stuff. Y'all raising $18 million in 72 hours and y'all want us to clap for y'all. And we like, okay, well, that's good, but where's 18 million going? Hold on, like, cut these taxes. Now, Trump did say he was going to cut taxes for if you work in overtime, which I think is, cool. I think that's a nice start, reward the hardworking Americans. However, that's not something that can benefit everybody, because really it's the people with the essential jobs that keeps this company, well, Freudian slip, but America is basically a company more than it is a country. It's the people with the essential jobs that keeps this country afloat. Point blank, period. It's them and the people in sports and entertainment, because they keep us entertained and keep our minds occupied from the goofy shit. When the job market ain't doing what it's supposed to do. And when, people are, forming chat groups and stuff like that, trying to get people fired. Like they, sports and entertainment keep people less occupied with that. And speaking of sports, let's get into Aarona's Fantasy Sports League. So check it out. This is Aarona's Fantasy Sports League. So we only gonna talk about the teams I like, the players I like, and the sports I care about. Okay, amen. Now, so the teams I like, the teams I care about, first of all, NBA and NBA and NBA. But I also like the MLB, Major League Baseball, the NFL, the MLS. I did play soccer for 4 years, and I like it. Soccer is a fun little sport. I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I haven't been keeping up with it very closely over the last 20 years. But now that I've attended a lot of soccer games, my interest has been reignited in it, because it's just, like I said, I used to play it and it's a fun sport to play. And so when you're watching it live in the moment, it's easy to get really engaged in the game, especially, because of how physical it is. And so, yeah, shout out to, all the MLS teams around the world, around the country. Soccer is actually like one of the biggest sports in the world. They call it football everywhere else. And then when you're in Spanish speaking countries, they call American football Americana. They don't even, that's what football, we just call it football. They call it football Americana. Soccer is football everywhere else. Okay. Shout out to Pele and Lionel Messi and, David Beckham and everybody else. Okay. Now, MLS, MLB, NFL, NBA, and then, on occasion, some tennis. Because I played tennis for like 2 years. I wasn't, nowhere close to being a Serena or Chow. Nowhere close to being a Serena or a Venus. I almost said my actual sister's name. I was about to say nowhere close to being a Serena or a Lisa. I'm like, Lisa's my sister. Venus. Venus is Serena's sister. Anyways, I played tennis for 2 years. And for that reason, I do enjoy being competitive on a tennis court, even though I got 2 years worth of training. Okay, I'll be out there. You can't tell me I don't play professionally. When I'm out there, I be feeling like I'm about to go to the Olympics. Especially when I'm winning. Sometimes I'll be losing though, and then when I'm losing, that's just when I'm playing for fun. Amen. Now, let's look at what MLB was doing today, because I saw that the Houston Astros was playing against the Anaheim Angels, and it looked like they killed them today. It looked like, they spanked that little tail. Today is September 15th. And okay, so all of the games have played today, and the final scores have come in. Like I said, we talk about the teams I like, the teams I care about. I care about the Cubs. I care about the Astros. I care about the White Sox. That's all I care about. Now, today, the teams that played were the Orioles, the Tigers, the Reds, the Twins, the Kansas City Royals, the Pirates, the Mets, the Phillies. And the Pirates is Pittsburgh, and the Phillies is, Philadelphia, okay? And then the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Cardinals, the Blue Jays. Who else played? The Tampa Bay Rays, the Guardians. Who played against the Cardinals? I can't tell who that is. The Oakland Athletics played against the White Sox, and my White Sox spanked them, okay? White Sox got the victory 4-3, Oakland Athletics. Cubs played the Colorado Rockies. Yes, the Cubs got 6-2. Spanked that. They spanked that tail. They did. So the Cubs and the White Sox won both of their respective games. Boom, shout out to Chicago. And then Houston Astros spanked that tail with the Angels, the Anaheim Angels. And then apparently there was a showdown in California, the Padres versus the San Francisco Giants. And the Padres had the victory. They pulled that. They spanked the Giants, okay? 4-3. Padres took that. Okay, y'all. Y'all get on down. Shout out to Chicago White Sox. Shout out to Chicago Cubs and the Houston Astros. I don't really care, but since they're America's teams, we got to talk about the Yankees and the Red Sox because those are the two, old school OG. If you live in America and you like baseball at all, you better know what the Yankees is doing. Well, the Yankees spanked that tail against the Boston Red Sox. They spanked that tail. Okay. Whoops. Work on it, Boston, because the Houston Astros spanked that tail too. Boom. So that's what's going on in baseball. Since I've attended about 3 Astro games this season, I just want to say a personal shout out to Header, okay? Because Header is fire. Like he's a left-hand pitcher. And when I tell you his pitching stance, the speed, just the whole way he throws the ball is so exciting to watch him pitch. He's fire. Valdez is fire. And I want to say Blanco, but I might be thinking of another player. But Valdez is fire, okay? And they win when Valdez pitches. That's another thing. Shout out to Altuve, Jose Altuve, kicking it, winning. His RBIs is all the way. I think he's leading in the team. I think he has the highest RBIs on the team. And who else is Bregman? Alex Bregman is fire. I personally like John Singleton, not to be confused with the filmmaker, but John Singleton. And then ironically, John, Singleton that plays on the Astros, he's from California. It's really interesting. And he's a Virgo, okay? Interesting things that no sports fan cares about. Who cares what other sports fans care about? This is Aarona Sports Fantasy League, okay? So, yeah, shout out to Singleton. Like, I enjoy, because they call him Homerton, okay? John Homerton, because he be hitting them homers. Him, Bregman, and Altuve, they come and they put in that work, and it's very exciting to watch. It's very good baseball. So I just want to say thank you, gentlemen. I enjoy watching good baseball. I do. I get very, very excited. With that being said, I haven't attended a Cubs game since 2016, and that was the year that they won the World Series. And now I'm trying to remember who even plays on the Cubs. Because the thing is, you guys, especially as I get up there, things start getting the short end of my attention span, and then I got to refresh my whole roster. So with that being said, the NBA is becoming that way, and for the first time in my entire life, not even my adult life, my entire life, I, haven't been this out of touch with the NBA, because I did go through a little period between, at the beginning of the Kobe years. I did go through a little period, circa 96 to the 2000s, okay, where I just, I ain't really care. Like, first of all, I used to play basketball, and I'm from Chicago, and, Jordan was everything, okay? The Bulls, the entire squad, Jordan, Scotty, Dennis Rodman, okay? We had, he the coach of the, look, it's all like falling. We had John Paxson. We had Steve Kerr. He's the coach of Golden State Warriors. Why can I think of this? We had all of them, okay? We had Armstrong. We had Horace Grant. We had a lot of people, okay? That was fire, all right? And these are just the people that I can remember and recall right now, okay? There was a whole lot of people. Horace Grant with them damn goggles, he was fire, okay? And this is just what we had going on. Now, I'm saying all this to say, after 96, we lost Phil Jackson, and then he went to the Lakers, and I felt betrayed. Now, I was much younger, okay, first of all. So as a sports fan, I was just like, we need Phil. We won with Phil. How y'all gonna take Phil? And then Phil got out there in LA and was winning. I was like, because he wins. He's the greatest coach ever. Why would he not win? And so I felt a little way. And so I wasn't really watching basketball. Well, just a little period of time. Even though at that time, Allen Iverson was shaking everybody up in basketball at that time. And Kobe was getting out there and getting it in. But I was in my, my stubborn, no, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. Even though him and Shaq was getting down. I was like, I liked him better when he played for the Orlando Magic. No, all because they had Phil Jackson and I was being petty and I felt some type of way. But Kobe was so cold. I'm glad I got over that because I attended my first Laker game in, I want to say, I think 07 maybe. And to see it up close in person, not just like, the broadcast, or to see it in person, I was like, oh, this dude is bad. I'm a hater if I'm hating. There's just no denying good basketball. And then when LeBron came in the league, now I was watching LeBron high school games, okay? Because like my young homies, my young boys was putting me on the LeBron. I was like a sophomore in I was a sophomore in college. I was in college and they were coming out of high school. They graduated in like 02 or something like that. And so their freshman year was, coming into my junior year. And they was like, yo, you gotta watch this guy from St. Mary's, this man boy, he's crazy. And so we used to watch it. We used to watch his games in the dorms. I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be nuts. And then he came into the league and he was. And that, brings me to football because LeBron been showing his ass in basketball for like 20 years. And I need to know Cleveland Browns when y'all gonna get on the board. Huh? Cleveland Browns. What's wrong with y'all? Cleveland is the city where they come from, so run. Y'all need to run to the end zone and get some points so y'all can get to some Super Bowls. I don't even understand what's going on. Okay? Y'all need a new running back, a new wide receiver. Y'all need to get some interceptions. Y'all need to do something because I don't understand what's going on. So we're shifting to the NFL right quick because y'all know all this talk about Kendrick doing the halftime and Lil Wayne not getting picked got people losing their little minds, right? And it made me want to look up some actual historical research about all the Super Bowls that existed from 1967 to 2024. And so I'm looking, because Juvenile made a very good point. I liked Juvenile's point. Juvenile's point was this. He was like, New Orleans has had like, I don't remember the number he said, but I remember the quote is New Orleans had a gang of Super Bowls. I know he said over 10, but or maybe he did say 10 because the number of Super Bowls that's been in New Orleans is 10, okay? But let me just say this. He was like, New Orleans had a gang of Super Bowls, but not one time has a New Orleans artist performed at the Super Bowl. And I was like, you know what? He's like, they come to New Orleans all the time, and we don't never have a New Orleans artist. And I was like, you know what, Juvenile? You know what? But I do hear that. And I do think there's a point to that. And I just want to look it up and make sure it's legit, And so I was looking it up. And yeah, the number of Super Bowls that have been at the host cities over the years, the entire, duration of the Super Bowl, Miami has had the most hosting opportunities to host the Super Bowl. There's been 11 Super Bowls hosted in Miami, 10 hosted in New Orleans, 8 hosted in Los Angeles, and 5 hosted in Tampa, of all places. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know that at all. And then as we, get down, there was 3 in Atlanta, 3 in Houston, 2 in San Francisco, so on and so forth. Now, we'll get back to that. But then that, of course, made me look up, well, out of all of these cities that they've been to, these hosting cities, to host the Super Bowl, which teams actually, won a championship. So then I had to go down my little list. And, of course, the top team that's won the most Super Bowls is the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, with Terry Bradshaw and all them. They was getting down. And then they're in first place with 8 wins. They've won 8 Super Bowls. The New England Patriots is in second place because they've won 6 Super Bowls. Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. The Steelers and the Patriots are tied at the top. The Steelers have won 6 Super Bowls, and so have the New England Patriots. But the Steelers have been to 8 Super Bowls. They've had 8 Super Bowl appearances, won 6 out of the 8. Okay, amen. Whereas the Patriots had 11 Super Bowl appearances and won 6 of them. So they lost 5, but they won 6. Okay, amen. Now, the San Francisco 49ers have had 8 Super Bowl appearances also, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they only won 5. And they're tied with the Dallas Cowboys for 5 wins, 5 Super Bowl wins. So now I'm going down the list because I want to see, who got some wins on the board, right? And practically every team, all the 28 teams of Super Bowl, then got on the board with Super Bowl appearances, except, wait, scroll up, except, yeah, even I saw the Los Angeles Chargers. I was like, wow, I forgot all about that team. Like, do they even still have that team? I forgot all about that team. But then there's NFL teams that have never played the Super Bowl. Okay. Cleveland Browns have never played the Super Bowl. They appeared in a playoff, and their last playoff appearance was in 2002. Jacksonville Jaguars have never been to a Super Bowl. Detroit Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. And the Houston Texans have never been to a Super Bowl. But let's do some feedback on the Houston Texans. Houston Texans is a new team because they used to be Houston Oilers. And I used to think Houston Oilers because Warren Moon was the bomb. Like, that was a bad boy. I used to win with him all the time at Tecmo Bowl. And I will hold on to that for the rest of my life because Warren Moon was cold. The type of plays that they would set up on Tecmo Bowl where he would quarterback sneak past the running back and go in and get to the end zone. It was crazy because Warren Moon was fire. Okay, but anyways, y'all don't care about that. Houston Texans is a new team, but they looking real good. They looking super good. And, they're trying to make their way to their first Super Bowl appearance. But Cleveland Browns. Detroit Lions, too, because I don't know what y'all was on. But Detroit Lions last year was one win away from being in the Super Bowl because they was the final team to go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Kansas City Chiefs end up beating the Detroit Lions and taking the Super Bowl, this past February. So that added to their wins. But at least Detroit Lions was like close. But they still ain't never won no damn Super Bowl. So this is going to Detroit Lions and Cleveland. Cleveland first. Because darn it, like I said, LeBron been showing his ass in basketball for the last 20 years. Okay? And that should have sparked up some type of inspiration for y'all franchise to put on for your city. I'm a Midwesterner, born and raised. Okay? So I don't, my Midwestern teams, I like to see them shine. I want Chicago to win and beat everybody. It's Chicago versus everybody. However, when Chicago is not in the position to win, because they only been to 2 Super Bowls, they won one, lost one. So, but Cleveland, get on the board. Cleveland, get on the board. Cincinnati Bengals been to some Super Bowls. Cleveland, get on the board. Detroit Lions, y'all too. Just because Motown was there, y'all got to have some more pride. Anyways, that's how I feel about Super Bowl. That's how I feel about football right now. Yeah, I'm closely watching the Texans. It's a whole lot of excitement around them and everything that's happening with CJ Stroud. Very exciting. Listen, I went to the preseason game and I went to the game and the tailgate and Acker, honey, that footwork. I saw it close. He was spiraling. He had with the ball, he was running. He like, nope. And he like spiraled 3 times in a row. I'm like, yo, this boy is getting it. It got me excited. I haven't been that excited about a football play in a long time. So I'm excited about the Texans. I'm always support my Bears though, no matter how much they be losing. It's home. And the Texans actually played the Bears today. And also foolishness. I was going to get a ticket and I was like, this ain't the time for me to spend $200. Plus I was like, I'm going to the Astros game and I already did that. So I'm like, this will be the 3rd birthday where I go to a baseball game. And the game was on my birthday. You feel me? Usually football games don't fall on my birthday. And they had a out of town game. They had a road game. So it wasn't even here. And I was like, I want to go somewhere for my birthday. So I was like, baseball. And then they ended up having the game today. And I was like, dang, but I meant to go back and check the tickets because there was a ticket plug that had better tickets that was in my price range. But it's, I just take it that it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be because things would have worked out and I would have been there. But it didn't work out. So I wasn't meant to be there. Now, before we end up in our conversation about the NFL, I also want to point out who performed at the damn Super Bowl. Because let me tell y'all something. As a person with a broadcast background and as a person, who loves hip hop, I was really surprised by this outrage about Lil Wayne not performing at the Super Bowl. And not because I don't think Lil Wayne is worthy. Like, I actually think Lil Wayne is super dope. And if they would have picked him to do the Super Bowl, it would have been a lit performance. I feel like what really happened was they capitalized off of how hot Kendrick is right now. Because here's the thing, like, yeah, Lil Wayne is out of Louisiana and he's from New Orleans. They doing it in New Orleans. And because Usher killed it, so listen, let me tell you something. Usher put his pinky toe in this past Super Bowl performance this past February. Usher came out there and performed his little fatty off, and then he brought all the right guests to amplify the performance. I don't even think Alicia Keys played at the Super Bowl before. This was her first time because Usher brought her, okay? Alicia Keys did have a long career and a nice catalog, and she's talented, and she can play an instrument, okay? She can do more than twerk, okay? People be twerking. She can play an instrument. And then this was her first Super Bowl, okay? So it's like, and I mean, this was Ludacris' first Super Bowl. This was Little John's first Super Bowl. It was fabulous, okay? And they've had longevity, and they've had major hits, okay? Shoot, Usher was on Baby with Justin Bieber. That was like one of the first songs to ever do 1 billion listening views, a billion views, 1 billion streams, like on YouTube, and then went to Spotify, went crazy. That was like the first song ever to like reach those type of magnitudes. So it's like Ludacris is mad accomplished, but that was their little first giddy up. And guess what, y'all? It wasn't from Atlanta. They were all from Atlanta, but it happened in Vegas. You feel me? And so I was like, I want to look into, the previous lineups as far as 10 years ago and look at the performances and look at where people performed at based off of where they're from. And of course, none of them times was anybody performing where they was, from the hometown that they represent. Nobody. The only thing that happened with Dr. Dre is because JayZ and Dr. Dre are very good friends. They're very cool. And the LA was not only the hosting town, but also the LA Rams was the team going to the Super Bowl. So you had an LA team playing at the Super Bowl, and it was in LA. And they was like, oh, it's only right for us to bring LA's finest. And then it was like Dr. Dre had never played a Super Bowl. Now, I want y'all to get this. I really do want y'all to get this. Yeah, him and JayZ are tight, and because JayZ took over the halftime producing, responsibilities and things like that in partnership with other people. Dr. Dre been making music since the 80s. So we want to talk about longevity. We want to talk about a catalog. We want to talk about a career, all these things, right? It took him this long to get invited to the dang old Super Bowl. So, I mean, with those type of metrics, I think it's dope that what happened to Lil Wayne happened. And this is why I say that, because by Lil Wayne not getting picked, right? When he thought, man, who else they gonna pick? They gotta pick me. I'm at home. I'm a legend, and he is all of those things. I said this in 2020. I'll restate it right now. Lil Wayne got enough catalog, enough hits, enough swag, enough talent, enough everything to like desecrate half of these rappers in the verses. He does. I feel that 100%. Said that years ago. I still stand on it right now. The thing is, it's like none of that matters when it comes to the Super Bowl, though. Super Bowl is about the sport and it's about television. You feel me? So it's about whatever's going to work to make people tune into that game. If they could get enough hype on either one of those teams, like how, Kansas City Chiefs had to go, and hype up the relationship with Taylor Swift and that dude so there could be, a backup story about what's going on, and he's gonna go all in because this girl is watching, all that hype that they played off of to get people to watch the game. It's like, if they can do that, amazing. And then they do that and stack it with an awesome halftime show, boom. And all they were doing from a programming perspective, from a producing perspective, was going, okay, who can we have this year? Y'all know Kendrick is having a hell of a year. He hot right now. And they like, yeah, that thing he did with the pop-out show, he put that together, and look at how it turned out, man. If he come out and do the Super Bowl, it's going to be crazy. And they did it. Solely and simply based on that, you can tell that's what it was. And that's why he was being all cocky with it. Like, all right, so y'all thought y'all was big as the Super Bowl. Nigga, I'm at the Super Bowl. What's up? Like, that's why he was being mad cocky with it. because he's having a hell of a year, period. And they picked up on it, was like, we finna capitalize off that. We need somebody, we want somebody having a hell of a year. So what this is doing, really, and depending on how Kendrick plays this, it's making Kendrick more of a hero, because Kendrick and Lil Wayne got Mona Lisa together. Kendrick actually likes Lil Wayne. He ain't had no beef with Lil Wayne. He ain't bothered with Wayne. He actually low-key defended Wayne in his diss song, because he was like coming at Drake and came at Drake real hard. And he was like, yeah, but then you slept with Wayne's girl while he was in jail. That's conniving. Like, like trying to take up for Wayne. Like, why would you do that? That's your boy. You got his picture on your Instagram. That's your man's. You always talking about Wayne this, Wayne that. But you did that. Nigga, I would have never did that to Wayne. Like, basically, he ain't say that, but he acted like he would say that, because that's how, the song came across. So it's like, okay, it's putting Kendrick in a position to be a bigger hero, because if Kendrick go, man, we in Wayne City, I got to show my man some love. Hey, y'all give it up for Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne is on the show. Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Everybody wins, because Lil Wayne just really, really wanted to perform at the Super Bowl in his hometown. It meant a lot to him. I feel bad that he said it broke him. I really do, because even though he said he really wanted to perform at the Super Bowl, and like I said, from the moment that Usher performed at the Super Bowl, he put his toes in it. When Wayne saw, oh, y'all going to New Orleans? Hey, y'all got it, man. I want to do that. Hey, y'all got to holler at me, right? He kept saying that, but he didn't really attack it like it would make his world. And he didn't really attack it like, man, if I don't get this, man, I'm going to feel broken. It didn't, and because Wayne be so relaxed, Wayne be so relaxed all the damn time. We as fans, as hip hop fans, didn't know how much it really meant to him. And when you saw the video and saw that the video he made, and when you saw that it really meant something to him and he didn't get it, and it was like, damn. And then he said, man, I got to pick myself up, but I had this expectation. I really, really wanted this. And it's just like, wow, as fans, we definitely feel for you, because we do like you. We love your music, and we want you to, you feel me? We want you to, ascend. And we want to see you out on these big stages doing it big, so we could be like, oh, that's my song. Because, dude, I was at a soccer game, actually. But the Lil Wayne Swiss Beats song came on a loudspeaker. That goes mad hard in stadiums. It's crazy. Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 1, Alianda. It's crazy. Okay. And that could be something that's Super Bowl worthy. I be coming with solutions. I alley-oop stuff all the time on the slide, like, throw it up, score with it. I be trying, but you see what I'm saying? It's not the end all be all the way it is. It really, really sucks that he wanted it so bad and it didn't get it. However, this is setting him up to headline, you know what I'm saying? A Super Bowl halftime show. Because with the outpour of, yo, why y'all do that to Wayne? Why y'all do that to Wayne? Now it puts Wayne on the radar where people are like, all right, we'll give him the opportunity. You feel me? It puts him in that space. We're like, well, give it to him. Let us see what he do with it, right? Because he does have the catalog to do it. He does have, he could bring anybody and feature anybody on his halftime show. So let's see what he do with it. It puts him in that position more, in my personal opinion, to get it the next time or another time or whatever. You feel me? That's 1. 2, it puts Kendrick in a bigger situation to be a hero, because he ain't even said what his plans for his show is. He ain't even gave nobody the layout of what's happening. And even though we knew Usher was going to perform for the Super Bowl, for months, we didn't know he was going to bring all the people he brought, right? So there's still so much room on the table where Lil Wayne still might perform at the Super Bowl in his hometown, And like I said, when Juvenile made that video, he made about how many times the Super Bowl has been in New Orleans, but never featured a New Orleans act, a New Orleans artist. I was like, well, yeah, that is kind of, it's kind of discouraging when you're an artist and you're serious about your craft and you made some money in this business. And it's like, yo, but come on, y'all, over here, But once again, like just going off of historical, stuff, that never really mattered at the Super Bowl. No way. Patti LaBelle is from Philadelphia. Like, they never went to Philly and was like, oh, Patti, Come on, you perform. No. In fact, for the first like 12 years of the Super Bowl, they had marching bands performing at the halftime show for like the first 10, 20 years. And Grambling State University, shout out to Grambling State because they got a hell of a marching band. They have been the most, they've had the most repeat performances, halftime performances at the Super Bowl in history. Grambling State University Marching Band. They've performed the halftime show a minimum of 6 times. I want to say maybe 8, but for sure a minimum of 6 times. So marching bands have performed at the Super Bowl more than, certain celebrities. That's one. 2, Usher performed at the Super Bowl. I want to say in Arizona. He was a special guest of somebody. Let me see who that was. Usher was the special guest of the Black Eyed Peas. And they performed at the Super Bowl in 2011. They did it in Arlington, Texas. It was Black Eyed Peas performing at the Super Bowl, and they brought out Usher as a feature act. And that was in Arlington, Texas. Usher ain't from Texas, and the Black Eyed Peas is from California. So there you go. Then Usher finally performs at the Super Bowl after being in the industry since 1994. His career longer than Lil Wayne's. But he finally just got the Super Bowl, and he's Usher. And he didn't perform in Atlanta. He performed in Las Vegas, And it was no less amazing, even though he wasn't performing at home. He brought the A to the Super Bowl and bragged about it. I brought the A to the world. So Wayne can do the same thing. Like I said, he's in a good position. He ain't in a bad position. This just hypes people up a little more and makes them more curious of, okay, well, if Wayne got the opportunity, what are he going to do with it? Let Lil Wayne do it. Like, it puts him in a position where it's like, give it to Wayne. You feel me? It's still not a bad place. So that's why I was like, man, people sort of here, not necessarily the artist, because Wayne has a right to feel the way he want to feel. I feel like that was a long time coming for Wayne anyway, because it seemed like from the 4th of July, he just didn't like the way his peers was responding to him. When that whole Mark Rubin party happened, let's see, is it Mark Rubin? I think it's Mark Rubin. But when that whole thing happened where, Mark Rubin had that white party and like all the celebrities went, Wayne was like, damn, ain't nobody speak to me but Glorilla. Like, what's good? Like, do my breath stink? What happened? Like, that was one of the first times Wayne came out like sad. Like, I don't like the way my peers are responding to me. And so I felt like this Super Bowl situation was another, it put some more salt on it of why they treat me like this. Like, I don't like the way my peers are responding to me. Why wasn't I the first on their list? Why wasn't I amongst, with all the things that I do, why wasn't I? And so on that regard, in that respect, I feel bad for him. And that's why, like, for Nikki, like, coming in there and being like, man, y'all whack, blah, blah, blah. She know him better than we know him. She got more access to him than the general public. So she may know some things we're not privy to, okay? Maybe Wayne is going through a bad time. Maybe he having some downtime. And he maybe wanted to feel loved, right? And not getting picked made him not feel loved. I can see that. And I hope y'all, in that moment, I hope y'all send some love out the way. This is a send love to Wayne moment. Maybe he needs that. We don't know what he's going through. But, okay, I like some Cameron. Love me some Cameron. Love me some Mace, okay? I like their show. I like what they're doing. But then they sit up there called JayZ a hater because he didn't pick him. I'm like, but that's wrong, though. Because, like, what are we really doing? Y'all throwing all this on Jay like he's the only person that makes the decision. When a lot of times, like, I even was looking through the little clip notes of the Super Bowl shows, he does it in conjunction with other people. Y'all crazy as hell if y'all don't think they don't have meetings about this. And then people take a vote and people, you know what I'm saying? Y'all crazy as hell if y'all don't think it's a group of people that come together and was like, all right, look at the ratings from last year. Okay, what did the Nielsen report say? What do y'all need to do? What's on people's minds? What y'all thinking? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I agree. Oh, that's hot. Blah, blah, blah. And then break. They make it happen, right? That's 1. 2, Wayne out his mouth said he was having some tax trouble. And JayZ came out and looked out for him, and he really, really needed that help. Wayne said out his mouth, JayZ gave him $14 million. This wasn't that long ago, y'all. This was in the last, like, 5-7 years, okay? Wasn't that long ago. Even if it was 10 years ago. Here's what I'm saying. JayZ ain't never came out and was like, yo, I did this for Wayne and blah, 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 blah. He ain't never spoke about it ever. It was Wayne that came out and was like, I really needed that help. And JayZ gave him $14 million. Nigga, you ain't hating on nobody that you give $14 million to. When the last time somebody loaned you $14 million? Huh? When the last time you got a $14 million gift? A $14 million, hey, I feel like you really need this, and it's not, I can make this back, or this ain't gonna cost me nothing. Here you go. Like, I don't want you in trouble with the government and people. Here, $14 million. That's privilege. So first of all, don't be, I can't, y'all in a place of privilege. I don't want to hear this shit, okay? Y'all make up, kiss, make up, hug, dap it out, and get the fuck over all this whining and crying shit, okay? Because if you couldn't call none of your other rich friends for the 14 million, how is, you know what I'm saying? The one person who really looked out and helped out, yeah, he gonna look out and help out again. There may have been another reason that he was like, yo, we're gonna go with this Kendrick move, is smart. So just run with that and respect that. Because the nigga gave you 14 million. Okay? That's what ungrateful is being like. Now you sounding like an ungrateful ass family member. That's what you sound like. I'm gonna come, but see, Wayne didn't attack JayZ. That's what Nicki did. Wayne didn't attack JayZ. Wayne didn't attack nobody. He was just like, yo, I'm really hurt. I felt like I felt like I would be amongst the conversation. I felt like I was gonna get chose, and y'all got me feeling like a whack ass prom date. Nobody wanted to call me and take me to the prom. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, that's how Wayne came on. And so, like I said, he may be going through some things that, you know, the public isn't privy to. Maybe just people close to Wayne know what's really going on. However, the hating talk gotta stop. It's like, fam, come on. Y'all cannot be that one-sided, that small-minded when it comes to number one, business, number two, broadcasting, and number three, just personal history. Like, come on, man. When last time you really trying to hold a person back and you gave them 14 mil? Man, let me tell you something. I got people trying to hold me. They don't even contribute $5. Like, what is you talking about? Like, I got people, man, the things that people tried to make me feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a person that was trying to act like they would support my entire life because they gave me $10 once. And it was just like, oh, great. You know, rent's $900, but I really appreciate this 10. And because I really, really appreciated it, because there was a time that I was real down bad, and thank you for that. That didn't solidify and stabilize me. It did something nice. It was a kind gesture. It was thoughtful. It was appreciated. But you ain't sustain me with the $10. What the hell are you talking about? However, you know, this is about one. And yeah, 14 million. Yeah, nope. Nobody. He looked out, fam. So let's just put positive vibes out. Okay. Everybody is agreeing that you are totally capable and worthy of a halftime show. And let's see what Kendrick do, because it's still early in the game. He could pull that off, and then that's gonna be a win for everybody, because then you get to perform at the Super Bowl in your hometown, and he looking like a hero. He's like, hey, but the other niggas couldn't do it for you, but look who did it for you. You see that? You're welcome. You feel me? Just like how JayZ came with the 14 million. Hey, these other niggas couldn't do it for you, but you see that? You're welcome. Huh? All right. It's just history repeating itself. Guys, I was going to end this with a safe spaces, but this is one on for an hour and 5 minutes. Now, when you're a stand-up comedian and you're trained to perform for 45 minutes to an hour, just talking, you and a mic and a crowd, this is like easy breezy. So what I'm going to do is make some edits to this so that it's not as wordy. And I'm gonna, interject some transitions, some transitional music, some graphics, etc. I was wondering if JayZ had a middle name, because we know he's Sean Carter. JayZ, Jigga, JayZ, Hova, Carter. I wonder if his middle name is Bruce. I'm gonna look it up because this is a Google thing. We could just Google real quick. I feel like his middle name is Bruce or something like that. What is JayZ's middle name? Oh, duh, Corey. Ha ha ha. Little Wayne's name is Dwayne Michael Carter. Oh, okay, that's cute. He's Sean Corey Carter. I don't know why I thought it was like Bruce or something. Sean B. Carter. You feel me? That's why he married Beyonce. You feel me? We need some more Bruces. We're fading on Bruces. Our Bruce count is getting low. Okay. Like, Bruces are fading away. Bruce Jenner, faded. Well, he changed, and then there's Bruce Willis, who he's not diehard anymore. He has he has illness as he's getting older, which we all get older, and that's something that happens to everybody. So Bruce ain't Bruce the way he used to be Bruce. We still got Bruce Springsteen. We just don't have enough. We need some more Bruce. Bruce sound like he'll kick everybody ass for you. We need a Bruce, but Sean Corey Carter's fire too. Like Sean Carter sounds like the executive. That sounds like, or a skateboarder in the X Games, like Sean Carter, like he skateboards and stuff. But yeah, Corey Carter, he sounds like a fire athlete. That sounds like a baseball player. It sounds like something that belongs on a jersey. He hitting home runs. You can't fade Corey Carter when he in the zone. Something like that. Can't nobody guard Corey Carter. That boy fire. He be doing and ones. Corey Carter sound. Mm-hmm. Sound like a sports extraordinaire. So no, that's probably why JayZ a big sports fan. It goes together. It goes together. It's fire. Okay, amen. Also, be on the lookout for Scene Stealing Saturdays, where I recap some of my favorite films of all time and the scenes that stole my heart, or the scenes that made the actor or actress a star because they stole that scene. That's something else I'm going to be doing on this YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. Okay. And it's called Scene Stealing Saturdays, aka Friday Night Films, because my work schedule fluctuates. That's another reason why the content has slowed on this channel, because I don't have a regular schedule. And then with some other things that happened in the background, it's like, my schedule keeps changing. So as soon as I get a grip on what I'm going to be doing and where I'm going to be, then I'm talking about work wise, y'all. Then it'll make it easier for me to plan these episodes in advance. Friday Night Films and Seed Stealing Saturdays is going to be the same thing, but sometime it might fall on Saturday, sometime it might fall on Friday. And when it falls on Friday, it's called Scene Stealing Saturdays, a day early. Amen. That's what it's going to be called. That's what's going to happen. So I'm just preparing for it right now because I'm peeping the way things are going and flowing, and I just want to be prepared for anything. So that's what's happening. Be on the lookout for that right here on Aarona Creates on YouTube. I'm also Aarona Creates on TikTok and Twitter. That's AaronaCreates. Okay. Make sure you check all that out. As always, www.AaronaTheVirgo.com. And in the meantime, in between time, I pray y'all stay safe, healthy, and protected in Jesus' name. Until we meet again. Mwah.